Hey, this is Jersey. You're listening to the Garden State.
You're listening to The Garden State, the only New Jersey podcast that gives you all the news you need to hear this week. My name is Josh Sobo.
My name is Josh Chomick.
And I'm Jimmy Parks.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another holiday edition of The Garden State. Boys, welcome back. Jimmy, welcome back from your journey. It's good to have you back in the helm.
It's so good to be back in the Garden State.
In the helm?
Yeah, isn't that a thing?
Well, the helm is like the leader. I don't know if I'm the leader of this podcast. I would say you're in the helm, but
Well, I'm passing the baton to you this week, Jimmy. Well, welcome back, everybody, to our listeners. Thank you for joining us once again. It's good to be here. I got to say, I feel it today.
You're feeling the Christmas joy in the air, Josh?
Yeah, and on the topic of Christmas joy, I actually had a question to start off the podcast this week.
Yes.
I wanted to get into something a little different, if that's okay with you guys and the listeners, of course. If I have their approval, should we ask them?
Jimmy, what do you think?
Blue's Clues style, should we look at the camera and ask the listeners what they think?
yes.
Okay. Well, we're not.
You
gonna
got
do
my
that,
approval.
Thank you. So the question I wanted to ask you guys this week, because this is a Christmas edition of the Garden State, is what is your favorite pop culture Christmas reference that relates to the state of New Jersey? Now, this could be a song, a Christmas song. It could be a movie. It could be anything, as long as there's connection to Jersey. Like with that one song, always says something about Pennsylvania, from Pennsylvania. You know that song?
From Pennsylvania to New Jersey.
No, they say folks are traveling down the. I don't even know what the words are, but it always makes me think like I know what Pennsylvania feels like at Christmas time. I've driven on
But that doesn't relate to Jersey.
I know, but I'm giving you an example of a cultural reference that could kind of relate.
Yeah.
So the point being, do you guys have anything you can think of? Like when I watch, this is again, not New Jersey, but another state. When I watch Home Alone 2, I think, man, I live like 35 minutes from there.
I could
drive to Central Park. I've seen the Plaza Hotel.
That was the first thing I thought of when you brought that up, because it's not in New Jersey, but like when like they're at the airport and stuff, like and they're flying, you see like, you know, New Jersey in the background, you see New Jersey in the skyline.
Yeah.
But it's not like directly related to New Jersey. Your question is pretty tough. Like if you want to begin here, I could think.
All right. Well, I have 2 points, and this is why I wanted to mention it, because I think there are two major
putting us on the spot here.
And I want the mailbag. If you guys know of anything better than what I'm about to say, I want you to call in and let us know. The first one's a bit more lightweight, but have you guys ever watched the movie Polar Express?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
They're at the North Pole, right? The elves are in like the elves are in their super control room, looking at all the screens of kids the night before Christmas, which is kind of creepy in hindsight. And this one kid, there's this one repeating clip of this kid saying, "I didn't do it." Do you see that? He's like, "I didn't do it." And then they're like, "There's a kid from Maplewood, New Jersey."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Polar Express references Maplewood, which is funny to me because, again, that's one of those things where I'm like, I'm 4 minutes from Maplewood. So I'm like, wow, this amazing cultural iconic movie is referencing a place that I know, which I love. I love those little Easter eggs. To me, it's so much fun.
Do you think, off topic, do you think like a writer, when they were making that, do you think they were from Maplewood?
That's why I wanted to bring this up. Did you know that one of the characters in Polar Express is actually located pretty close to Maplewood, New Jersey? And this could be the connection there for why they specifically call out Jersey in this movie.
Is it a character or like one of the writers?
So there's a few things here. Okay, so the director, his name is Robert Zemeckis. Robert Zemeckis. So someone on a forum said he must have a thing for Maplewood since he directed I Want to Hold Your Hand, which is about a group of kids from Maplewood who go to New York. So he has another movie that references Maplewood. Okay, so the director, I've read, every year I kind of look this up because I'm curious, like, what the heck is the Jersey connection? So there's that. So there's some sort of a Maplewood connection for the director of Polar Express. But on a deeper level, one of the movie's stars, his name is Peter Scolari. He was a gentleman who played the young boy Billy in the movie, the boy that, you know, is lacking the Christmas spirit throughout the movie, the faith. He actually lived in Livingston, and his wife teaches at a school called the PTW, which is the Performing, let me make sure I get this right, PTW-NJ, the Performers Theater Workshop, which is a school for kids that want to learn to act and stuff. So a lot of New Jersey connections here between Polar Express and New Jersey.
Have you watched it this season yet?
I was at my brother's house, and I have a young niece and nephew, and they play it. It's like the joke is it's always playing at Christmas time. They just keep playing it.
Well, it is a magical movie.
I think I put it on as background noise one day on a Sunday afternoon. But I love that stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Do you have any references that are related to New Jersey? And I have an even better one than that last one.
What's your better? I don't have one right now, so if you want to give me your better one, like I don't want to like just look on Google right now. Like I might just do it just to give me a hint. But what's your better one right now?
Okay, so this is probably from better to best. This is probably the best example we're gonna find. My favorite. I'm going to go on a little personal tangent.
Yes.
Okay. My favorite movie, capital M movie, right? Not just if you ask me
capital M.
If you ask me this in July, I'm going to tell you my favorite movie. Not my favorite. I say capital M. Not my favorite Christmas movie. My favorite movie is, and I think it's one of the greatest pieces of American art. Not to get super deep. I was thinking about this yesterday. It's top 5.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a Wonderful Life.
I knew it.
I think it is another tier of. I want to say another tier of the tiramisu.
Tier of the massive.
No, but there is a special place in my heart for It's a Wonderful Life. And I think it's one of those movies I'm obsessed with. Every year I say to my wife, we're going to drive up to the town in New York. I think it's something Falls, New York. That Frank Capra, I think, was in that town.
Okay.
When they were like writing it. And so there's a lot of inspiration from upstate New York, which is why they sing Buffalo. This is another tidbit. Why they sing Buffalo Girls Won't You Come Out Tonight. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie. They're singing about Buffalo Girls. I had a friend from Buffalo. And I would say,
wow.
Yeah. So they're singing about upstate New York, right? So listen to this. This is interesting. Did you know It's a Wonderful Life found its origin, the story, at Rutgers University?
No.
Yes.
I did not know this.
So the brainstorm struck Philip Van Doren Stern, class of 1924, when he was shaving one morning in the winter of 1938. The unshakable idea was a story fully formed in his mind about a despondent man who rejects suicide and embraces life after a mysterious stranger allows him to see how the world would be if he had never been born. Though already an author and publishing executive, Stern struggled to get the story down on paper. It took him 5 years to develop a draft he felt comfortable sharing with his agent. After unsuccessfully shopping it around to magazines for a few months, Stern decided to self-publish the story called The Greatest Gift and sent it to 200 people as a 1943 Christmas card. One evening, a few months later, just as I arrived home, I heard the telephone ringing, Stern recalled in a 1946 New York Herald Tribune article. It was Western Union calling to read me a telegram from Hollywood announcing that the story had been sold for $10,000. So Stern's Christmas card, because that's what It's a Wonderful Life started as a Christmas card, had landed on the desk of an executive from RKO Radio Pictures, which bought the story as a vehicle for Cary Grant. But it wasn't until movie director Frank Capra's Liberty Films acquired the rights in 1945 that things really took off. In his 1971 autobiography, the name above the title, Capra wrote, "It was the story I had been looking for all my life. Small town, a good man, ambitious, but so busy helping others, life seems to pass him by." So he goes on to explain the plot of It's a Wonderful Life, but did you know that? It's a Wonderful Life, the greatest movie ever made, origins in Jersey.
That's really
it's
cool.
It's a Jersey tale written by a man that was educated in New Jersey.
You know what? I went to Rutgers and never knew this. They don't teach you that at school.
And it's on. This is on the Rutgers website you're reading this from.
Yeah.
Like they're pretty proud of that.
And the thing about It's a Wonderful Life is it wasn't initially received as like a critically acclaimed hit. Did you know that?
No.
It wasn't until, I believe, the rights, it became public domain, the movie. Mm-hmm. I think that's what you'd call it. That as a result, NBC, to save money basically on the rights, they would air it every Christmas because you'd have a day where you could play a movie all day and not have to pay for the rights to anything. And you'd rake in the ad money.
Yeah.
So they kept playing it every year. And as a result, it was in the 70s that It's a Wonderful Life became the cult American classic that it is now.
Wow.
Huh. So it wasn't originally received. And then on a deeper level, you start to, if you read about Jimmy Stewart, World War II veteran coming back, saw a lot of his guys die. And that movie was the way he processed through all of the trauma of World War II. That's why I say it's a perfect American story. So I figured I'd enlighten you guys today with a great Jersey story.
Me and the listeners, and maybe Jimmy Parks. Like, we just learned so much here on the podcast already. And we're only 11 minutes in.
You guys can't think of any Jersey references.
Bro, I love movie. Like, I love these Christmas movies. I'm not like a Christmas movie head, but like I'm trying to think of one that's taking place in like what? The Elf. Elf is he walks through the Lincoln Tunnel.
Yeah,
so there you go.
So
he's connecting Jersey.
There you go. He had to walk through New Jersey.
Wait, there was no parts of Jersey in Home Alone, right? It was just all New York.
New York, Chicago. Yeah. Man, I'm amazed. I thought you guys would think of something.
Well,
Elf, that's a great example.
Kind of
Elf.
The Elf one is like the only one I could really think of.
Mine's not a Christmas movie, but like growing up, we would always listen to the Frank Sinatra Christmas album, and Frank Sinatra's from New Jersey, so that
doesn't
counts.
That doesn't mean anything in this conversation.
Yes, it does.
We're talking about movies.
That we said no pop culture.
Sinatra would be a great example. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's not a bad answer.
So I don't know. I'm looking on Reddit right now. I should have done this before. now that you guys don't have anything, I'm like, is there anything? But
there's probably so many little Easter eggs just all over these movies, like with Jersey references. I think yours was the best, Josh.
I would love it if people called into our mailbag to let us know their favorite pop culture New Jersey reference.
908 67 99 99 3.
Josh Chomick, why don't we dive into our mailbag while we're on the topic? Or is there something else that was on your heart and mind that you wanted to discuss?
Well, we'll continue. We're on this wave right now. Let's ride it.
Okay, then we could pause because we brought it up.
I want to go right into the mailbag. If you want to call into the mailbag, our number is
908 67 99 99 3.
Hey, this is Fran. I'm calling in. I've contacted you guys once before, so this is actually the second time. What's going on with the polar plunge? It's only a couple months out, I think. So I want to know if you guys are doing it, if you're rallying the troops, and what's going to go on with that, with the Jersey guys there. Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you, Fran.
Funny you mention that, Fran.
Holding us accountable. I love it.
Because we actually are doing the 2024 Seaside Heights Polar Plunge this year. It's official, boys.
We're announcing it. We're coming out, letting everybody know.
Oh, yeah.
We will be plunging. The Garden State Plungers, we're back. And you can join our team. Josh Chomick, how can they join our team?
Well, basically, I think the easiest way for them to join our team is by clicking the link in the bio of this podcast. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have a direct link.
You always hit the link in the description of the podcast.
Yeah, did I say bio?
Yeah. You go on Spotify or Apple Podcast, there's a drop down in the description of the podcast episode. It'll be in there.
Yes, it's going to be one of the first links. Just click on it. You could sign up for our team. And basically, we're raising money, essentially. We're not just diving into the ocean for nothing. We're raising money for the New Jersey Special Olympics.
Yes.
So it's for a good cause.
For an excellent cause.
And it's a fun cause.
It is a fun cause.
It's like we're diving in. Guys, the experience last year, if we want to talk about it for a second, it kind of blew our minds. We didn't really know what to expect going into it. But like, you're on the beach, freezing cold, winter, February, with like over, I forgot how many people were there, but
8,000 people.
8,000 people. Guys, the beaches is mobbed and everyone's jumping into the ocean. And beforehand, you're hanging out, eating food with people, drinking hot cocoa. It's just like, it's a good time. Mm-hmm. Like, how would you describe it, Josh? Or Jimmy, you could butt
I was taking a sip of coffee. It was
magical.
I love events where you come together with people for a common ridiculous mission.
Yes.
You know, everybody's there going, hey, I took a Saturday to go jump in the ocean. But there's something fun to that. There's something enjoyable about it. And
it really wasn't that bad.
This year we're coming in hot. We're going to bring some more equipment to make our setup legit. We're going to hopefully have a Garden State tent.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a big coffee. Oh, Wawa gives out coffee to people, so maybe it'd be better off to have
figure it out.
Some hot cocoa or something. At least for ourselves, if not also the listeners.
But I think like last year we had for 4 listeners like plunge with us, which was really, really fun. But this year we want the family to grow.
Yeah, I'm looking for the squad to roll deep, and we're gonna get our friends to come this year. So it's gonna be
so many of our friends saw our post and they're like, "Oh shoot, I wish we did it with you guys."
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I think we should create another 1-of-1 sticker for people that plunge with us.
Yeah,
we did that last year. I made way too many of them.
They're still on my table in my house.
But I'd like to make a new one for this year.
Our friend Junior put it on his car though.
Did he?
Yeah, remember Junior? We gave him one because he plunged with us, and I remember the next day I saw it on his bumper sticker. I plunged with the Garden State. So cool.
So funny. Well, we're gonna make probably bumper stickers for people.
The craziest part about it is I think it was probably the coldest day of the whole year when we did it last year.
But the water was like warmer, right? Like,
the water was warmer than the air, so you jump in and all of a sudden you're like, oh, this isn't bad. This feels better to be in the water.
I kind of want to stay in here. Yeah. And we got out and it started snowing.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It was really cool when the state trooper helicopter started floating over, just out over the water.
Yeah. There was two of them.
Yeah,
they had the really big one and the smaller one. They had the Jet Ranger.
So if you guys do want to be involved with the Polar Plunge with us, you can go over to the link in the description of this podcast or just Google Garden State Plungers. Well, you go on the Polar Plunge New Jersey website, search Garden State Plungers. You'll see a picture of us with a polar bear and a plunger.
Yes. The Polar Plunge is happening February 24th. It's a Saturday.
Yeah.
And right now, if you sign up before December 31st, the minimum is $100. And I know what you're thinking, $100 to jump into the ocean in the middle of winter. Why am I going to pay $100 for that? Well, it's $100 and it's going straight to the New Jersey Special Olympics. So like I said earlier, we're not doing it for nothing. We're trying to raise money for a good cause. And who doesn't want to support the New Jersey Special Olympics? It's the freaking best. So sign up before December 31st. It's $100. From January 1st to January 31st, it goes up to $110 minimum. And then from February 1st to February 17th, it becomes $120. So sign up early, save a little bit of money, support the Special Olympics. And as the event comes closer, we'll give you guys more details on how to meet us there. And we just want to have a really, really good time with everyone all together at once. So I have nothing else to say. I think it's just such an awesome event. And if you've never plunged before and you're a little nervous to do it, I say you just take the leap and do it with us. Because last year we were terrified, and man, we got so hooked after that plunge, and we couldn't wait to do it again. So join us, please. So before we get into the news today, I kind of want to just catch us up on everyone's weekends, or maybe what was Jimmy Parks doing the past 2 weeks where he wasn't with us.
I was in Alabama.
Shout out to Jordan for covering Jimmy. But yeah, Jimmy, tell us a little bit about your trip.
I was living in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Anytime that I go on a trip that's more than like a week, I say I live there now. So I lived in Tuscaloosa, Alabama for 2 weeks for work, and it was awesome.
What's Tuscaloosa like? Tuscaloosa?
Tuscaloosa. It's where the University of Alabama is.
Oh, wow.
They have the 8th largest football stadium in like the whole country there.
So it's just football country down there.
Oh, it's wild. We were down there on a Saturday, and the University of Alabama had a game against Georgia, Atlanta, and the streets were wild. People were dancing in the street after they won. People were singing. It was insane.
It sounds like a different world than it is here in New Jersey.
It was pretty infectious.
Infectious.
I mean, the pride that these people have for their school football team is insane.
Wow.
It's like we hear about things like that from being in New Jersey, and we're just like, we can't relate. Really.
Yeah.
It's like, we have Rutgers, we have a college football team, but we are not obsessed with college football like they are down in the South.
Yeah.
Like everyone I talk to, they're like, yeah, Southern football, it's everything.
But not for nothing. That's all that's really there. Like you get out into like the surrounding areas, there's really nothing to see. The real main like industry down there is like logging. So there's like lumber mills all over the place. So that's cool. That's not something you see up here.
Is Tuscaloosa like a big city? Is it a city or is it like a small little downtown?
Think of like
what New Jersey town compares to Tuscaloosa?
Okay, think of Westfield.
Yep.
Then like double the downtown.
Okay.
And that's it.
Cool.
Guess the population. You see it?
Oh no, I didn't see it. Is it a big city?
I mean,
I'll show you an image. I'll show you an image in 1 second. Hold on.
Oh, I'm so bad with populations, Josh. You know that.
That's Tuscaloosa downtown.
It kind of looks like Albany. It's like the size of Albany,
It's
right?
one of those classic American cities that it's if you look, there's not really a skyline.
No, there's no big
It's just
buildings
like-
at all.
There's a few like 10-story buildings,
and then the
sprawled
giant
out.
stadium. I
It
don't
kind
know.
of looks like, I don't mean this in any sort of way. It kind of looks like Newark if it didn't have the big skyscrapers.
No, it really does. Yeah, like where there's not massive buildings, but there are some buildings.
Which is how I always describe any city that to another state is like a real city.
Yeah.
Is just Newark.
Yeah.
That kind of does look like Newark from the outside.
Like Cincinnati, that's just Newark,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
I wouldn't say this is.
It's not like New York or Chicago.
There's only 100,000 people that live there.
100,000. What's the
And-
population in Newark?
Probably more than that.
Just to compare.
My guess would be 250, 300,000.
300. Wow.
So population-wise, Newark, but Newark sprawls pretty wide, you know?
Yeah.
Jimmy, after going to Tuscaloosa or Alabama for the first time, could you ever see yourself living down there?
No. Full time, no. I would go back to Tuscaloosa again. It's a really cool town.
Just to go visit and hang out?
Like really good food.
You have to go back for a football game next time.
I know. We were kind of disappointed that there was not a home game.
Because that just sounds like it would be nuts.
Yeah.
Like you see videos of the people going crazy in the streets. That's what I picture like you doing there with like everyone
Me going crazy.
all your new friends in Alabama.
Hey, guys, since this is the Garden State podcast, what do you think the nickname of Alabama is?
Jimmy, you were just there. You should know this.
It's probably on their license plate.
I can't say I even looked at their license plate.
Well, think about what is Alabama known for, boys? College
Oh,
football.
is it just like, oh, I don't know.
It's the
Go ahead.
No,
Say
no,
it.
no,
Say
no.
it. You
No.
probably-
Say it. Come on,
Nope,
it's on
I
the tip
don't
of your
know.
tongue. It's on the tip of your tongue. What is it?
No.
Do it.
What
Say
would
it.
be a major
Say it now.
export?
Wood. Logging.
Think when the state would have been formed, though. Not
Moonshine.
today. They're not the moonshine state. On the license plate of a car, brother. An illegal alcoholic beverage.
You just said back in the day.
Yeah, but think about, I mean, first off, the stereotypes here are crazy. We're going, Alabama's number one export is moonshine.
I don't know.
All right, it's the cotton state. Oh. Which, you know.
So not so much when we were driving through Alabama, but when we were driving through
Cotton State podcast.
Tennessee, the roads were lined with cotton.
It's beautiful, right?
Not because like there's cotton fields, but just because when they're transporting on the trucks, just all the excess cotton blows
gosh.
off the truck. So you're like, is that snow? And then it's like, no, it's just cotton.
It's just piling on the side
everywhere.
of the roads.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
I'm trying to picture what that looks like.
So the way they transport it is like really crazy. It's just in the backs of these huge trailers, but it's like, they're not like fully closed.
Yeah,
Like,
so
there's
it's just
gaps
kinda
in
like
it.
blowing.
So it just blows out, and then there's just cotton all over the place.
Where they bring the cotton to?
Probably the cotton mill,
Why don't we got that up here?
because we don't grow cotton here.
But like, are they bringing them up here from Alabama?
Listen, guys, this conversation's above my pay grade. I don't know.
You think like it's being transported? It's there's cotton trucks going through the turnpike, right?
I can't say I've ever seen a cotton truck in New Jersey.
Well, that's
I
what I'm saying.
think-
Like, I've never seen it either, so I'm wondering. Like,
I'd
do they come-
imagine it's probably there's probably a first step. This is, again, made up. But my guess would be there's some sort of a first step in the refining process before it's sent to the textile mill where
Yeah.
it's turned into cotton sheets or rolls. And they probably do all that down there.
So they're not driving like the raw cotton up here where it's like blown all over the place.
Don't they use like these spools? I know, like I know what it looked like, the cotton gin, right? Like that was like the original thing. We all learned about that in like 6th grade. But I think they probably spin it into thread or whatever and then send it out.
True.
Yeah, it's probably spun down in Bama. So
And it comes from the sheep.
the fields. You're thinking of wool.
Oh shoot! I know you said spinning. Yeah, that was so dumb. Wow, I didn't even. Gosh, I'm so embarrassed. Because I was thinking about like RuneScape and stuff when I used to like do the wool.
Okay.
Everything in life does relate to RuneScape, honestly.
Well, yeah, because you had all like the basic like things you're doing in that game, but
I think RuneScape should make a revival.
cotton, shoot, wool. Cotton's not coming from sheep. So dumb.
You know, but the thing with wool,
Can't believe you said that, Jimmy.
What?
with wool, they just shave a sheep, right? It's not like their actual skin.
You ever like for like when you're like chilling? Do you ever just like watch the videos of them doing that to the sheep? It's
Yeah,
like
they shear 'em.
It's kind of just relaxing to watch.
Well, I knew somebody that was
It's
vegan.
so crazy.
Yeah, I knew someone that was a vegan that they didn't like wool. They're like, well, it comes from sheep. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not killing a sheep for it. They're just getting a haircut.
Yeah, it's a haircut.
It seems like pretty ethical to me.
Yeah, people are like, you can't do that to a sheep.
'Cause
It grows back, right?
Also, if you watch those videos where they shear sheep, First off, sheep are the bros, man. They're awesome. They're just chilling.
It looks like they like it.
Such non-controversial animals. A sheep.
Yeah.
What a great animal.
They're not killing anyone.
Yeah, they're just chilling. Like they're just kind of dumb and they hang
pretty
out.
good.
I think of Babe, my favorite childhood movie. Did you ever watch that?
Yeah, it's a pig.
Yeah, but he hangs out with sheep. He thinks he's a sheep
Oh,
brother.
got it.
My brother. Oh no, he thinks he's a dog and he's herding sheep.
True. I haven't seen it since I probably haven't seen that movie since I was 6 years old.
Oh, my mom would make me watch it every day. I don't know why. I was very kid friendly, I guess. I don't know. But that and Fox and the Hound, which is another depressing Disney movie.
I don't think I've seen it.
You never watched Fox and the Hound? Jimmy, did you watch that?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's keep moving. So, first off, I said sheep's are the bros because they just hang out. They're chill. And then they shave them, and they look like they got a shape up, and they just move on with life.
It's pretty
great.
cool.
So before we get into the news today, we want to let you know that we are recording live from the Vintage City offices at our beautiful studio space that we are currently furnishing. We've been going hard these last few weeks, and we're going to do another studio tour at some point, updating the people at home. It's just getting really beautiful in here. But we love the Vintage City offices. We've been here for almost, 5 months now?
Something like that. I don't even remember.
And it's a great space. It's helped us to really grow our podcast. Josh, what's your favorite part about the studio?
I just feel, I love the high ceilings first off.
Yes.
Really makes me just feel alive. I don't know. The windows are great. I love being able to see the people walk by. I love the space. It's warm in here. The temperature is just, the climate's perfect.
I agree.
It's good climate. That's very important.
So if you're at home and you have a small business and you're looking for a space to work, or even if you just have a job and you're looking for a space to work outside of your house, check out vintagecityoffices.com. Oh, you can also text or call this number. I like this number,
It's
Josh.
easier this way.
It's 908-259-4488. That's 908-259-4488. You can call, you can send them a text saying, hey, I kind of want to check out the space. While you're here, be sure to walk past the Garden State Studio and take a selfie in front of the glass.
We might even be here.
Possibly. So, and with that, let's get back into the episode. Starting off with a nice, sane, level-headed story, because we know the Garden State is full of sane people. Animal advocates in New Jersey are asking legislators to ban the sale of dogs and cats.
I'm kind of speechless. Like, why?
I think this has to be because there's so many dogs in like the shelters, right?
They're worried about, like, they say there's inhumane conditions, right, at these like pet shops. That's the whole debate here, Josh. Because I just think it's ridiculous.
This article, man, I mean, these people are going back and forth, and I'll read you the article. You can kind of weed out what's going on here, but yeah, I mean, there's the animal rights people don't want animals to be sold. They think people should just adopt them.
I just want to say, like, animal rights people, these activists, bro, they seem like the most miserable people on earth.
They need hobbies.
Because that's all they do, and they're always complaining and worried. And like, these animals are just chilling, bro. Animals are chilling, living their lives, while these people are just crazy, and it feels like they don't have a life. Like, it feels like that, like they're just miserable because they have nothing else to do.
Well, it feels the part to me that's off-putting is like I love animals. I think we should take care of animals, right?
Yes, all of us are for the animals here.
Yeah, like I've had dogs growing up, and I love dogs. I'm a dog lover, and I'd like to get a dog again soon. You know, dog, man's best friend. We love dogs. But what I will say is, it feels sometimes with animal rights activists like they put the needs of animals above the needs of humans, which I think is disordered. A disordered worldview, I think.
Yes,
I'll make that argument.
obviously.
I don't care. I think if
You could easily-
if you value the life of a dog above the life of a human, I'm not saying, because there's always the outlier of someone that abuses a dog, and you're like, that person's worthless. You know, send them to jail. I get what you're saying, but I will say, I think that you got to be careful with that sort of worldview, because I think human rights are definitely more important than animal rights. And I'm not saying animal rights people don't care about human rights, but it seems like they put a lot of effort into figuring out how to like there was a guy naked on a plate on the sidewalk of New York City, like a turkey before Thanksgiving. And it's like, what are you doing?
Why? Was he just was he challenging? Like,
he was trying to show
turkey
people
lies?
how you're eating a turkey is like eating a human.
That is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
And then somebody rebutted it.
That guy is out of his mind.
Somebody rebutted it in this amazing.
We should have done that story.
Well, it was New York, but somebody had this amazing rebuttal for what he was saying, just about how turkeys eat everything, and if turkeys were large enough, they'd probably eat humans.
Wow.
So his whole point doesn't really make sense. Like, turkeys don't eat grass. Turkeys eat bugs and,
It sounds like
probably some little rodents
has some
and
mental issues.
But I don't know. So let's get into this article specifically. We don't have to attack the animal rights people. We don't want PETA. PETA might sponsor this podcast one day for all we know.
Hey, if PETA wants to sponsor it, bro, please sign me up.
So animal advocates are asking the state legislature to advance a bill that would ban the sale of dogs, cats, rabbits in New Jersey pet stores over opposition from business owners who say legislation would hurt consumers and lead their shops to close. The State Senate Economic Growth Committee heard Monday from animal activists on proposed legislation, including former state senator Ray Lesniak. Lesniak appeared in Trenton to testify in support of the bill, recalling a bill he co-sponsored in 2017 to regulate puppy mills that was vetoed by then-Governor Chris Christie. The new bill would repeal the State Pet Purchase Protection Act and replace it with new restrictions on pet stores and guidelines for adoption centers. The current law requires stores to obtain animals through breeders who are in good standing and licensed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Breeders who do not hold the proper state federal licenses or violate certain animal welfare laws are barred from selling animals in New Jersey. Sorry, Jimmy. I didn't eat yogurt this morning on purpose, so I wouldn't be phlegmy. Brian Hackett with the Associated Humane Society said the new legislation would stop the irresponsible and inhumane sale of animals. Despite the current laws in place, there has been a lack of oversight that has allowed irresponsible breeders to sell dogs in New Jersey stores. He said several other states, including New York, have passed similar bills to protect pets. If New Jersey doesn't pass this law in 2024, some of those bad actors in New York are going to come across the river to our state, he said. Under the bill, pet stores could sell other animals like snakes or lizards and sell pet supplies, while animal rescue organizers and shelters would be prohibited from obtaining cats, dogs, rabbits from breeders. Pet shops found to be selling cats, dogs, or rabbits would face a $500 fine for each violation. Pet store owners argued the new proposed rules are too onerous. Business owners who have been following the law will see their stores shutter. Charles Morton, an employee at Shakeapaw in Greenbrook, said families should be able to choose whether to adopt a pet or buy one at a store. Some people want to take in a dog from a shelter, but others are looking for specific breeds or younger puppies. So this...
you just read so much. I'm still kind of confused what the deal is.
That's how I felt. So I think what's going on right now is pet shops create a market for puppy mills.
Yes.
A puppy mill is a place, and traditionally, through stereotypes, puppy mills are viewed as spots in Pennsylvania. You'll always talk to somebody. This is a Jersey thing.
Yeah.
Where'd your dog come from? Oh, he's not from Pennsylvania. He's from Pennsylvania, but not, a puppy mill. Like, I don't know if you've ever had one of those conversations, but I had one the other day. Because typically the Amish will breed puppies. They'll breed lots of them. And it's common with pet shop animals that they have physical ailments. I know all this because I told you guys before on the podcast. My mom's a dog snob. She purebred dogs for the Westminster Dog Show when she was younger.
Yeah.
So they're a big lab family, and my aunt has bred dogs. So and a lot of these certifications are kind of meaningless. So like you can get something that's approved by the whatever association to be sold, and you get that certificate from your pet shop, but it doesn't really mean much according to the people I've spoke to. So it sounds like this is coming down to the whole adopt, don't shop narrative. Have you heard of this?
No.
Yes.
There's a movement of people saying, don't go buy a dog, just go adopt one. The whole argument is there's enough dogs that need to be adopted, and if we stop buying them, it'll limit these puppy mills from breeding dogs. That's the whole idea here. But I think people should be free to do what they want to do.
Well, it says the current law requires stores to obtain animals through breeders who are in good standing and licensed by the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
Yeah, I think that's where the issue in all this lies. This is why if you are
so that's the current
an expert,
law. So
that is, yeah, but that's where it gets tricky because I don't know what those standards are, and I think that's what I've heard. And my mom told me like a lot of these puppy mills can obtain licenses that are kind of fugazi.
Yeah.
Like they say they're doing all the right stuff.
But they're really not.
I think if they want to put harsher regulations there on the puppy mills to be like, hey, here are the standards, you need to be a bit more refined in your process of breeding dogs. I see no issue there. I think I don't like when people project their deep, very particular moral preferences on everybody else. Like this is one of those things that's very specific to some people. They feel a deep sense of I need to protect I need to only adopt. I don't want to shop. And it's like, yeah, but that's your perspective. You can do that.
Yeah,
go do it
and
inform your friends, the people around you. Tell them like, hey, here's why I'm doing this. But
yeah, don't ruin it for everyone.
if somebody
else.
wants to go to a pet shop, like Shake a Paw, you can't. This is a free country. Go do it. You know.
Well, like, are a lot of people buying dogs these days from like Shake a Paws and like pet shops?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
so.
like it's just the easiest way to do it, right?
Yeah. You ever see one of those little white rat dogs? That we all had a friend with one of them growing up.
A rat dog?
Yeah,
What kind of dog is
know
You
what I'm
have like
talking-
3.
Yeah, like this. We all had a friend with a little white rat dog.
What's a rat
It's
dog?
like it was like a
It's
meme on the internet a few years ago.
It's like basically a rat, but it's a dog. It's a dog the size of a rat.
But it's an actual dog?
No,
One of these dogs.
Oh, a rat. Doesn't look, he looks so cute.
No, I'm saying like any little tiny 12-pound white dog that looks like a rat, like this.
Well, I wouldn't say he looks like a rat, but
Yeah, but he's just scraggly little pup.
what
They all
someone's
get it
trying
from-
to say here is if we were still back in the olden days, this dog would not survive in the wild.
It's so far removed from its ancestors. Like a lab, I could kind of get it. I'm like, okay, they took the best of like a hunting dog and they made it family friendly.
Yeah.
A German Shepherd, you're like, I get it. This dog, I don't even know how he got here. A 12-pound little white muddy thing.
He could not take care of
when
himself.
you go to a pet shop and you buy a dog,
Yeah.
do you get all the information beforehand of where this dog was, like where the breeder was or where the puppy mill was? Like, do you get that information given to you before you make a purchase of an animal? Or are you kind of just like going in dark, trusting the shop that they're giving you a good dog?
I don't know.
When you guys got your dog growing up, did you get it from like a mill or did you get it from a pet
We
shop?
adopted my first dog growing
You
up. She
adopted.
was 2 years old, abused, brought her in.
Oh, nice. So like you rescued the dog.
Yeah, my aunt has a farm, and she was like, I have a friend with a dog that she's fostering because it was abused, and we were like, let's do it. And then my new dog, my mom got from a breeder, so we've done both.
And when you got it from a breeder, does
Breeder's
that
totally
mean,
different. Breeder's like,
is that buying a dog or adopting?
you're buying a dog.
Got it.
So a breeder would be like the third option in all this, which would be like you're finding somebody that has a specific passion for a certain breed of dog. Like let's say, and this is how breeders work. A breeder would be like, oh, I only do English labs, which is what my wife and I really like, English labs.
Yeah.
So you find this person, then every year or two, they have maybe they have a female dog, or they have a stud dog, or they have both.
Yeah.
And they'll breed a litter of puppies, and they'll have maybe 7 of them or whatever. And then those people, see, the reason I don't diss those people through all this is because they love these animals more than anybody. Like if you think you love an English lab, go like we have my mom has a Sheltie. That's what she wanted. She always wanted a Sheltie. And the guy that she got it from is like a Sheltie genius. That's all he cares about in life is Shelties.
That's cool, yeah.
So like he cares about
I would want to get my dog from someone like that.
he cares about the bloodline because these are all show dogs that are breeding. Like it's actually kind of interesting because you're keeping a breed.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're keeping the purity of the breed, I guess. But also, these are just like what do you call them? Like what's the word for? They're like purists. They're like people that really care about the specific breed.
Yeah,
of
I know
the
what you
dog.
mean.
You know, and I mean, our first dog was a mutt, so I love all dogs. Like my
So basically, you're kind of skipping the middleman, which is the pet shop. By going to a breeder.
because with a pet shop, you don't. I guess to your original point, you don't exactly know where the dog is coming
Yes.
from. You think you do, and they're like, "Oh, here's all the papers," but really, at the end of the day, and this is what this is kind of addressing: is the dog could be from a puppy mill.
And then my last question is: going straight from a breeder going to be more expensive than going
sure.
to a car,
Oh, yeah.
than going to a pet shop?
Yeah, it's like the difference between. Yeah, it's going to be more expensive. I'm trying to think of an analogy.
It's like you
there.
going to like Elon Musk directly to buy a Tesla than going to like a Tesla store.
It would be the difference between going to McDonald's to get a cheeseburger and going to a chef and saying, "I want a cheeseburger."
Yeah.
You're going to get the pure. You know that.
But McDonald's got like the Big Mac sauce and the special touch though. So
Now,
it's kind of
here's what I saw. No offense to the people that see this. Sounds really messed up. No offense if you get a dog from a pet shop.
Of course
I'm,
not. No,
I'm making
no,
the
no.
argument you should be able to get a dog from a pet shop, and there are excellent dogs from pet shops for sure. I'm not saying that.
I feel like most pet shops are going to be
not all
good.
dogs from pet shops are from a puppy mill, but I think you got to be careful. We've had family friends that get dogs and they have so many issues.
Oh, so that's
Yeah.
why they're trying.
Oh my
to, That's
gosh.
why they're trying to ban this because there are issues.
Well, yeah, if from a puppy mill, but I think that's why they should crack down on the mills because dogs are inbred. That's the issue with a puppy mill is is you don't know who's breeding the dog and what they're breeding it with. Now, if you're just trying to pump out 100 dogs and sell them all, then yeah, you might have like a distant relative of one dog breed with another, and then they have lung issues or hip issues, or like, we had a family friend with a maybe it was a Shih Tzu, and it had like hip issues. It's like, why does a dog have hip issues? So I don't know. I don't know enough to be informed. I'm giving you, this is all anecdotal through what I've gathered through conversations with people. But it sounds like the concern here from the animal activists is they think there's some abusive relationship between pet shops and these dogs. And what I would say is, because the alternative to all of this, if this goes through, is you're going to have to buy a dog online.
Can you do that? You can't do that now.
I guess you probably can, but it's not ideal. You want to go see your dog.
Yeah. I would want to, yeah.
I mean, my in-laws adopted a dog online, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, he was in Texas, and they were like, he's being shipped to New Jersey. And they were like, we want him. So they put them, I mean, he wasn't officially theirs until he showed up.
Yeah.
But they pulled the trigger just seeing a photo of the little guy.
And they just knew the situation and how he grew up, and they're like, yeah, we want to.
Well, he was found on the side of the road like 6 weeks before.
Wow.
And he was being shipped up. When he got, they literally will ship dogs from Texas or other areas to New Jersey. And he's awesome. He's like a lab.
But they got him when he was a baby?
He was, when we went to get him, he was probably, like 6 weeks old.
Cool.
And he was a little guy.
That's Rip?
Rip. He's a big boy now.
Oh, sick. Nice.
Huge lab.
He's a good boy.
So
I'm going to make one more Alabama point, and then we can move on.
Yeah.
When I was down in Alabama, you're driving around, there are dogs everywhere. Like, just running around.
That was what Rip was. Rip was found on the side of a highway.
Yeah. Just like you're driving down the road,
like
all of a
dogs.
sudden, like in the middle of the woods, all of a sudden there's just a dog walking along the side of the road.
Why do you think that is in the South?
I think people just have dogs and they don't have fences, and they just...
Oh, so these dogs are owned. They're just like kind of just chilling.
They're like outdoor
living their best
cats,
life.
I was going to say,
essentially.
it's the same as stray cats here.
Yeah.
You have stray cats. My next door neighbors growing up had a stray cat. Nobody owned this cat.
Yeah.
And a whole litter of kittens, and they're just strays. So that's probably the same thing. When I was in Mexico with my wife, she's a dog lover, like no dog lover I've ever met in my life, to the point where it used to annoy me. I'd be like, all right, relax. I mean, that sounds cruel, but it's all love. When we were in Mexico, I had to like distract her on the car ride. I'd be like, oh, look at that billboard over there. Because I could just see dogs coming up. I did not want to sit there and hear her cry about a dog.
Yeah.
So I'd just be like, oh, look at that. Whoa, did you see that McDonald's? Look at the McDonald's in Mexico. Whoa. She would look. I did it to and from our resort. She never saw a dog, but I saw like 12 along the way.
Nice.
Brothers, I had to bear that burden, seeing the stray dogs.
Does she know this now?
I think I told her when we got to the airport, I was like, you know how many stray dogs is?
Why didn't you show me?
She was like, what? So, yeah, that's a complicated situation. And we scratched with the surface with superficial sort of information.
Yeah,
and I think if you were
definitely look into the story.
we're
if you're
going to
interested.
get an angry animal expert calling us. I can feel
Can't
it.
wait.
And we'll take him on. We'll go to battle, go to war here. You're so ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, good.
Yeah, I own a bird. Okay, so I know what I'm talking about.
All right, let's move on to this next story. A New Jersey Senate panel has approved penalties for underage drinkers.
So, I guess right now the penalties are very minimal. It's like that's why everyone's drinking underage, because you're just gonna get a call to your parents and you're gonna get let off the hook.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the severity of the situation for sure. It says a Senate panel approved a bill Thursday that would create new penalties for underage alcohol possession over the complaints of advocates who said the shift would send more young people into the criminal justice system. The bill, approved by the Senate Judiciary Committee in a 9-2 vote, would subject individuals under the age of 21 found to possess alcohol to a $50 fine and a complaint summons, the equivalent of a disorderly person's offense. Legislators who supported the bill said the change is needed to address parties in the Jersey Shore towns that local officials have decried as chaotic and disruptive, and to provide some measure of enforcement for underage users who flout drinking laws. Here's a quote. It says, "I've been the mayor of a small town most of my adult life. I'll tell you this, since we've done that, high school kids brazenly are just walking around with an open container of beer because they think they can flaunt it." That was Senator Paul Sarlo, who's a Democrat from Bergen County. Like existing law, the bill advanced Thursday would require a written parental notification if the violator is under the age of 18. Republicans and law enforcement officials have urged their Democratic colleagues to alter the law, saying it leaves police officers in a state of limbo, unsure what conduct could expose them to a civil rights charge. So the defense of certain legislators is like, this is going to put the police in a weird spot because there's always civil rights charges on officers if the conduct of how they go about it is not correct. Again, law stuff.
As in, like, what, trying to arrest a kid and then the kid trying to fight back?
Yeah, I guess it's like, you have your civil rights. And I guess with alcohol, this is about possession.
Yeah.
But maybe there's gray areas in the whole conversation. The bill advanced Thursday would raise the bar for such charges against an officer, requiring a finding that they sought to discriminate or intimidate a minor on the basis of a protected class like race, gender, or sexual orientation. So there it is. Like the law is determined by age, and there could be suits saying, well, this is a suit of ageism. It sounds like there's an intimidation because it was a minor.
And then they're saying if you are caught under 21 possessing alcohol, it's just a $50 fine.
No. I mean, that'd be part of it, the $50 fine, but it also would be a complaint summons, which is the equivalent to a disorderly person's offense.
So right now, that's not a thing.
I guess not. No, they're making it a thing.
I mean, like, if you're caught underage right now with alcohol, what happens? You just
I have no idea.
I guess, like, you just got to call to the parents.
I think, I mean, this
Jim,
is
you've been
grossly uninformed, but I think it is more about who got you the alcohol, right? Like if you're at a party at someone's house, those parents would be the ones
getting charged, not the kid.
I think also, as I remember back in high school, I feel like I knew people who got caught and they ended up having to do like community service or something.
Yeah, I remember that happened to some people in my high school too. So this is like not a new issue either.
No.
This is like tale as old as time.
Well, that's probably why they're pushing it, because it's getting so bad, right? Because like he said, there's just kids walking around, underage kids walking around with a can of beer in their hands.
One lawmaker questioned why the bill would allow fines for underage alcohol consumption use, but continue to bar penalties for underage marijuana use. And this is Tony Bucko from Morris Township.
Bucko.
He says, what bothers me is if there's 12 kids sitting on a street corner and 6 are drinking beer and 6 are smoking marijuana, the second a police officer rolls up, the 6 kids drinking a beer are going to get a summons and a fine, and the 6 kids smoking a joint are going to be told to go home. So it sounds like they're amping it up. Now, granted, in that situation, he makes a good point. The standard should be straight across the board, but I don't know. I think the drinking down the shore thing is a great point. Like kids are wreaking havoc down the shore with these crazy, they're getting drunk and being foolish.
Like $50 fine though, and a summons, that's just like, that's still nothing.
Yeah, but a summons is on your record, bro.
That's true. So now it is. So now it will be on the record.
That's why they're saying putting kids in the criminal justice system. Like it's bigger than just, hey, a slap on the wrist. Like there are real world consequences to a court summons.
Got it.
So they're trying to amp it up to make this a legal situation rather than get in the car, I'm calling your parents, and then you get scolded by your dad, or I don't know what actually happens.
Because then the kid's going to do it again next weekend at the next party.
Yeah, I mean, no, I will say
the interesting thing is like that's true. Like if there's 12 kids outside doing like 6 drinking, 6 smoking, like they can't do anything to the kids smoking weed, but then just send them home.
Yeah, but they used to be able to. That's the ironic thing is like that's a new argument. What he's saying.
What did they used to be able to do?
Oh, maybe not. Well, 10 years ago, if you were caught with possession of marijuana, you would just get sent home. I don't think so.
Well, that's before it was legalized.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, but I'm just referencing like the drinking part of it. Like if you're drinking doing that, you were just sent home back in the day. Now you're going to get that.
I know. What I'm saying though is that's a recent adjustment in the law because marijuana laws are changing.
Yeah. So now they can't.
His argument's good and true, but it means we just have to keep updating our laws as times change.
Yeah, because especially kids are getting used to it, and kids know they can get away with it, so they're just doing it more often now.
Yes. So I don't know. I think will it persuade kids not to drink? Probably not.
Yeah, because they're just like, oh, whatever. It's on my record. They don't realize the weight of that. But yeah, it's kind of big.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. They're just gonna be smarter with how they do it.
I don't know.
They're going to be sneakier, I should say, not smarter. They're going to be sneaky.
Those short town parties, bro, they get out of control, and you see like how crazy it gets down there. It's getting worse and worse every year.
Rage Fest. Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to some real heavy news. Just brace yourselves. If you're standing, I'd ask that you sit down for this next story, and maybe if you're driving on the highway, pull over onto the shoulder. A pig named Albert Einswine led New Jersey police on a quarter-mile chase this past week.
These little piggies are a little faster than they look, huh?
Yeah, I mean, this is how the article starts. This is the New York Post, a publication founded by, I believe, Hamilton.
I don't know.
Hold on, I have to get this joke right. Who made the New York Post? Maybe it was Franklin? Alexander Hamilton, I was correct. A publication created by Alexander Hamilton started this article with this line. This is not your ordinary police chase.
Wow.
Hamilton is spinning in his grave right now. A pig named Albert Einswine escaped from a New Jersey farm and led cops on a wild chase before they were able to apprehend the pesky porker. Man.
Love the writing.
The slippery hog got loose from a local pig farm in Deptford Township on Tuesday and evaded arrest as long as he could. Video posted online by the Deptford Township Police Department shows officers trying in vain to lasso Albert. Each time they get close, the pig would squeal and run away as an officer filming would laugh. We're all friends here, the cop tries to tell the animal video shows. The video doesn't show the whole thing. We had to chase the pig for a quarter mile. They're faster than they look, said Detective Sergeant Bob Jones. He got pretty far for what it was. I don't know where he was going to. The 4-year-old pig was captured after about 30 minutes, police said. Cops chasing a pig is never not funny, Jones joked to the outlet. So that's funny. Cops are making jokes.
But did you guys actually stop and think maybe Einswine was running away due to maybe he was scared of something. Maybe his living conditions weren't right. Maybe he was trying to escape something deeper here. And everyone here is laughing about how cute the pig is. But what if this pig was running away for a good reason?
He probably was.
Did he stop and think about that?
Well, the reality is he's destined to be bacon.
People have pigs as pets, though, in the state. We don't know if this was coming from like a mill.
I'm going to say here that if its name was Albert Einswine, they weren't using it for bacon.
That's definitely a pet, dude.
As soon as you give an animal like that a name.
Cute pig.
He's a big boy. He's not like a pet teacup pig.
Yeah, we're not talking about little baby.
This is like
here.
Babe. This is Babe right here.
You're trying lifting that thing. Yeah,
man,
right.
I kind of love pigs, man. They're like sheep and pigs. I don't know. Maybe it's because I like Babe. Sheep and pigs, probably my two favorite animals.
Really?
Not really, but they're up there. I mean, like pigs are just so uncontroversial. You know, they're just fun. They're funny looking animals.
It's such a funny video.
Oink.
The cops don't really know what to do with it. Like they're trying to stop it and they don't know the next move of this pig.
Yeah, I mean,
well, how often do you go on a pig chase?
It's legal to have a pig as a pet, right? In the Garden State.
I think it is, but it sounds like this is on an actual farm.
Yeah, he escaped a farm.
So pigs are not illegal in any of the contiguous states, but you will need to check your zoning laws for pet pigs.
I thought you were allowed to have a pet as a pig.
Well, it's saying
Pig as a pet.
It's saying
your town might have a local ordinance against it.
Exactly. So like most towns probably it's okay to have like a little teacup pig, but there might be a town that's like a city and they might have a rule.
Well, if your pig also gets too big, you're going to need to make a little pig pen for it and stuff, and then that goes in your backyard, and then there's laws about that. But I feel for Albert Einswine here because you just never know what the pig is going through at the end of the day. Like maybe he was about to be slaughtered, but he was trying to get away from his owner.
That is possible. He could have been on the chopping block.
Or maybe, which you do what you want with your pig, but at the same time, maybe he just, was having a day and he found a little hole in the fence and he just wants to go have some fun. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know where he's at. He's in the Garden State. Like this place is just so mobbed and overpopulated. The poor little pig has nowhere to play. So
yeah, maybe
Albert went on a little, he had a day for himself.
Albert Einswine. What a great name.
It's a beautiful name.
They should name a scientist after this pig.
Albert Einstein's right named.
Who's that?
Look him up later.
Okay, I will. Is he like some kind of low key kind of
Jimmy,
Rutgers professor or what?
Jimmy, I don't. If you want to, Jimmy, tell us a little bit about him. Jimmy has the notes.
I don't know. I can't see somebody named Albert Einstein ever being a prominent
It's kind of a weird name.
Probably didn't do
practitioner
anything
of
cool.
science. All right, moving on to our next story. 2 New Jersey men have been charged with running a multi-state dog fighting ring.
Yo, this is happening all over the state, dude. It's crazy.
No, it's for sure an issue. I always am mind blown by people's commitment to building large organizations for illegal activities. Like go build a pressure washing business with this energy.
Yeah.
Go build a landscaping business. Just cut some grass, and you're gonna make so much money. But you gotta make dogs fight. What's wrong with you,
You're gonna get caught.
Jimmy? What do you think?
Jimmy, why are you choking up there?
He's walking away
Because
You're involved in this kind of activity?
I'm
Yo,
still thinking
Josh,
about
what's
your
going on?
first comment here. You're like, oh, this is taking over the state. This is happening everywhere. Like, what do you know that we don't know?
I guarantee it's happening all over the state. I have not a doubt in my mind. There's dog fighting everywhere, dude.
Chomic's on the black market.
So I guess the question is like, how do you get involved with a dog fighting ring?
you buy a dog.
Yeah, but like, would you just go start walking up to people on the street like, hey, I got a pretty strong dog. Like,
No, you go.
You got to talk to Steve Balboni.
Steve Balboni. You're going to want to go to a very sketchy bus stop. Okay, like a bus stop that you shouldn't be standing outside of after 5:00 p.m. You're just going to hang out there for a bit. Just throw some rocks around. Eventually, you're in an area like that. Someone's going to come up and be like,
hey, you got a dog?
you got a dog? You can be like, yeah.
This is a very animal-friendly episode today. There's a lot of animal stories.
Yeah, I mean, this is
This is Jersey.
I'm a dog lover. These people should be locked up.
Well,
Put
I
them in
guess
jail.
maybe I'm naive, right? You're like, all right, I want to get into dog fighting. You do some research on the internet, and before you know it,
Yeah, before you know it, you're Michael Vick.
And you're on the cover of the Madden 2024 anniversary edition.
Wait, is he really?
Yeah. So, there's always a way to come back. You can do like the worst thing in the world, and then, everyone loves you the next second because everyone forgets about
The
your
redemption
mistake.
story. I remember when he came to the Jets, and that was in his downtime. But it says on Monday, the U.S. Attorney's Office announced that Tommy J. Watson, a.k.a. Snakes. This is literally what the article says. Snakes.
Snakes. Don't know no snakes.
As soon as I read that, I haven't even watched Home Alone this year, but as soon as I
I
read
was like,
that,
I got to watch Home Alone now.
I thought of Chomik. I was like, I know why he put this story in here.
That's the only reason I picked it.
So this guy, Tommy J. Watson, a.k.a. Snakes, 43 of Clayton, and Johnny Lee Nelson, a.k.a. Johnny.
What? These names are nuts.
Wait,
AKA
These are
Johnny.
movie characters.
Johnny Lee Nelson, a.k.a. Johnny.
It's Johnny.
It's like Josh Sobo, a.k.a. Josh. Jimmy Parks, a.k.a. Jimmy. He's 34 of Bridgeton. They were both charged after officials alleged they conspired with others to violate the Animal Welfare Act by fighting, training, and transporting, possessing pit bull types of dogs in dog fighting ventures from August 2017 through March 2019. According to law enforcement officials, Watson and others conducted a dog fighting operation known as From Da Bottom Kennels.
Sick.
That's how it's spelled. From
Duh.
D-A, Da Bottom Kennels.
Crazy.
Which posted bloodline information of fighting dogs owned by the kennel on the dog fighting website Peds Online. So Watson and others used the DMV board on the app Telegram to transmit videos of dog fights, of training dogs for fights, and of the killing of underperforming fighting dogs, including by hanging. So these people are sick. They're sick.
Wait, what happened with the hanging?
If the dog didn't perform, they'd kill it, and sometimes they'd hang it.
Oh my God.
So he is also charged with transporting. This is Watson. He's also charged with transporting a third dog, Rambo, along with a do-it-yourself veterinarian equipment, such as a skin stapler, to a location on Center Road in Upper Deerfield Township, New Jersey, for a dog fight on March 23rd, 2019. What's wrong with people? Like, I don't get it. The Animal Welfare Act counts these men are facing, along with the court of conspiracy to violate the statute, each carry a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison and a fine of $250,000. So guess what?
They're going to jail.
They're going to jail.
That's crazy, man. There has to be some crazy money in the dog fighting market, right? To be able to be doing this. Like, what's the reward to do this?
Well, why would you want to watch a dog rip another dog apart
No,
and kill it?
exactly. That's one point. But like, if these guys are, dedicating their lives to this, there's got to be some crazy money in that market, right?
I guess.
Like, who's throwing down money though for dog fighting?
It's like betting, like anything else.
But we're talking like big money though, bets. Like that's wild.
Why not just go bet on a football game?
I know. Or buy a horse. Bet on a horse. I don't know.
I guess maybe they see it as like boxing. Like you have a stake in the game of training your
Some
dog.
people just are
You're
really
training the
into that
dog
kind
in.
of stuff. Yeah. You want your dog to be the top dog. You want your dog to just beat up every other dog and win. Like that's just crazy to me. And like I said earlier, this is happening everywhere, I feel.
Yeah. In the Meadowlands, there's a few of them in Jersey. There's these horse tracks where people go bet on the horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like...
It's kind of the same idea, but you're not having the horses rip at each other.
I don't know. I think horses love to work. They like to run and sprint. But it is kind of interesting to think that there's still events in this super woke society where animals are competing and you're betting on them competing.
And like horse racing, that's like such a prestigious event. Like I feel like all the rich are doing it. It's not like if you're poor, you can't be going to like bet on horses.
Well, they've banned dog races. They used to have greyhounds race.
Really?
I believe that's illegal now.
Wow. Why? Interesting. But you could do horse racing?
Is illegal. Let me see. I might be speaking out of. Today, the only states that still allow greyhound racing and have active tracks are Alabama, Jimmy, Arkansas, Iowa, Texas, and West Virginia. So, yeah, for the most part, it's pretty illegal to race dogs. I don't know why. I guess they're abused in the process, but I feel like that's
Same thing with
dogs. They're just running,
They probably love it, yeah.
If anything, I would think that it'd be less harmful than horse racing, right? Because the dog, like you said, is just running. You don't have another thing on its back whipping it to go faster.
Yeah, but I think the thing was, this is how disconnected as a society we are with just the reality of life. Because this is the only reason we can have all these opinions, not to stand on my soapbox, but we've been insulated. We live in nice houses. We have cars with the air conditioning. We don't have to worry about a horse. Back in the day, people would hop on the back of a horse and go for days. They would just ride a horse for days. And horses, they just want to work. They're like, let's go. I'm gonna climb this mountain with you on my back.
It's an animal. It doesn't have a soul.
I think the thing I'm thinking is, I don't think horses are unhappy with someone on their back. I think to them, you're like a leaf. They're like, oh, whatever, hop on my back.
Yeah.
But obviously, I like horses too. I think horses are cool. I'd like a horse.
Horses are...
I'd like to bareback a horse and just rip it through the countryside.
Yo, one day when you make it in life, dude, you're going to be able to buy that horse. And, dude, that's going to be the best feeling in the world.
I rode a horse through the desert once, and it was probably one of the coolest experiences of my life.
Now, that sounds cruel. So what was... You were in the desert.
I was in Death Valley.
You're making a horse work.
110-degree weather.
Valley.
It was...
The poor thing's like trying to keep...
It was in January. It was beautiful out.
Death Valley's
Jimmy,
crazy.
you are the problem.
Yeah, probably.
So I'm excited to hear about those dog fighters getting locked up.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
It's a good thing, and we need more of that in New Jersey.
Gabagool.
We need more of the criminals getting just locked.
I mean, like, if you have any leads onto any, like, dog fighting rings or what's going,
Oh, my God.
call into the mailbag. Let us know.
We will distort your voice.
Yes. Well, yeah,
like-
we'll make it in super deep.
Where's the... Your voice will sound like this.
Hey, Garden State, so I have the lead on something.
We could do that with your voice, right?
That'd be really cool.
I didn't realize we had that ability.
Yeah, we have the ability to sound like robots.
Wait, why is it only happening to yours?
Because it's connected. They have to be, like, programmed into the mic channel, and they're only programmed to Josh's.
Yeah, that's the thing, guys, is I'm actually in the International Space Center right now.
It sounds like you're in ShopRite.
Well, once yeah.
Hello. Hey, so Garden State, you guys are the worst. I called in last week
We could do that
with
to your
a
voice.
tip on a coffee shop, and you never answered my call.
Can you talk like that the rest of the episode?
People are going to be like, I hate these guys.
Yeah.
I should call in with a voice, like a different voice, and just complain about us. That's usually the calls we get. All right, let's move on to the next story
The
here.
next story.
It's Christmas time. People are getting their packages delivered with their gifts, and there are porch pirates on the loose.
Getting robbed by the porch pirates.
A New Jersey porch pirate who struck a police officer has been arrested.
And you know the worst part about this? This porch pirate isn't even from New Jersey.
Yeah.
She's from Florida.
Wait, what are you doing in New
Florida
Jersey?
woman. Get out of here.
She drove all the way up to steal an Amazon package.
It's wild.
Which, if it was my Amazon package, it'd be like a shower liner or like a
I know. Like, are you
cup
really
for my
winning
baby.
anything here?
Yeah, how disappointed would you be? Like, oh, I'm going to go commit a crime. I'm going to steal someone's package.
Yeah.
And then it's like the most useless
Polka
thing.
dotted shower curtain.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do a lot of big ticket items on Amazon recently, and if I do, I mean, they usually just arrive, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody's stolen them yet. The porch pirate from Florida who allegedly struck a police officer with a van last week in Gloucester Township has been arrested. On Monday, 31-year-old Ebony Gomez of Jacksonville was taken into custody in Monroe Township by U.S. Marshal Service. Gloucester Township police say twice on December 1st in the Cherrywood development and once on December 2nd in Mayfair Woods neighborhood, Gomez, who was driving a white Dodge Journey, was captured by a doorbell camera allegedly stealing packages from front porches. I think this is one of those heinous crimes that people should just get a mandatory sentence. We need to end this. We need to end package
It's
theft.
too easy. It's way too easy.
Like, give them a mandatory year in jail if you steal a package.
Why not?
And then maybe
Why
bump
not?
it up from there, but mandatory at least a year. This Friday afternoon, officials were alerted that the van being driven by Gomez was in the Siglerville section of the township. Officers located the vehicle on Jarvis Road and conducted a motor vehicle stop. There they learned that the van was listed as stolen. They also saw juveniles inside the vehicle unrestrained before it fled at a high rate of speed. A short time later, officers observed the van on Parsons Court. As an officer approached the vehicle, the driver once again attempted to flee, striking the officer with her vehicle, according to police. So she's going to be charged with the following: multiple counts of second-degree eluding, second-degree endangering the welfare of a child, second-degree aggravated assault against law enforcement, third-degree theft of movable property.
Jeez.
And Gomez is currently being held in the Camden County Jail pending court proceedings.
Lock her up. Number one, don't come to our state and start stealing our Amazon packages. Do that in your state, Florida. All right, we don't want you here. And second off, why are you hitting police officers? Why are you endangering children? You're just such an idiot. You're so dumb. Just why? Just get out of here. Stop doing this kind of stuff. I think stories like this are so lame.
I think that
These people are losers. They don't have lives. Get a job.
it's just laziness.
Stop being a criminal.
It's like they're trying to find the easiest route to...
Yeah, go have fun with that shower curtain you just stole off someone's porch.
Yeah, or like $18. Remember when there was a story about someone porch pirating $18 slippers? And
But
they were $9 slippers. And I was like, oh, really breaking the bank with the $9 slippers.
For real, dude.
And in the comments, everyone was like, you have no idea the person's backstory. Maybe $9 is all they could spend on slippers. I'm like, chill out.
Yeah.
I would buy $9 slippers.
Exactly.
The humor is lost on this society.
It really is.
So, did you set up a mic for Jordan?
Yeah, in case he can.
Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, ADD for the listeners. I just noticed there's a wire running across the room.
Yeah, because if he was going to stop by, I was going to be like, yeah, you have a mic if you ever want to butt in so he doesn't feel left out. Yeah.
I threatened him. I
Yeah,
said, "You better not
honestly,
show
Jordan
up."
didn't show up today because Jimmy was like, I don't want to see you. He was kind of... Jordan, if you're listening, dude, you don't have to be scared of Jimmy. Like, we have him tamed right now. We'll put him in a cage if you need.
All right, we have a few more interesting stories here. This one is broader than New Jersey, but I think it's going to be relevant eventually to the Garden State, which is why we're going to talk about
crazy.
it. McDonald's has introduced a spin-off restaurant called Cosmics. Could this be coming to New Jersey?
I mean, if this comes to New Jersey, this will be a game changer for the industry.
What is Cosmics?
So yeah, I was going to say, Josh, I read the article, but I want to hear in your words.
I mean, it's a coffee shop, pretty much.
Oh.
McDonald's is opening up their own cafe. Like, there's the McCafe right now, but they're going to start McCosmics. What's it called? Cosmics. Yeah, Josh, take us through the story. I think it's something that's going to be taking over the country very, very soon.
Yeah, so McDonald's is promising that the menu at its new Cosmics restaurant will be out of this world. The fast food giant, which this week announced that the spin-off brand would be opening its first location in Bolingbrook, Illinois, which, by the way, I would love to know the market research that went in there to pick Bolingbrook, Illinois as your starter location.
They love their McDonald's there.
McDonald's calls Cosmics a beverage concept, and they have this menu that's going to, they say, cater to people looking for an afternoon pick-me-up, which, we've all been there.
Pick me up.
That means that there's no Big Mac or French fries to be found at Cosmic's. Instead, the restaurant will serve a large array of beverages and treats with bold and unexpected flavor combinations, vibrant colors, and functional boosts. The drink menu will feature dozens of new beverages, including lattes, slushies, teas, unavailable on the regular McCafe menu. They have berry lemonade with dried strawberries and, a vitamin C shot in one of them, a s'mores cold brew. And then they also have some food on the menu like pretzel bites and little breakfast sandwiches.
This pretty much looks like McDonald's version of like a Starbucks.
Or
Dunkin'.
I think the better Dutch Bros would be a better comparison. Do you know Dutch Bros?
Not too well.
We don't have it here in Jersey, but there's a lot of fruity drinks, fruity lemonades and teas, and a few coffee drinks. If you look up, that's kind of Dutch Bros' bread, and they're a huge chain of a drink spot. And that's kind of their bread and butter.
I think this is kind of crazy, and it's kind of genius for McDonald's to do because, number one, McDonald's has so much money. And number two, everyone's always looking for I love McDonald's coffee. Josh, you put me onto McDonald's coffee, right?
They're iced coffee.
They're iced coffee. I don't like their hot coffee.
Their iced coffee is always the same.
I'm legit drinking McDonald's iced coffee right now because I think it's delicious, and also it's cheap.
It's super cheap.
It's $2.
It's like $2.
It's probably garbage, but like it's really, really tasty.
No, to me it's good because it's consistent. That's all I care about with
100%.
coffee is if you're going to make me a cup of coffee, let it be consistently whatever it's going to be. If it's Wawa, let it be consistently Wawa coffee. I don't want to. This is my issue with Dunkin'. Is Dunkin's not consistent location to location. Every Dunkin' you go to, the coffee tastes different. And specific to a location, depending on who's on the shift, the coffee's going to taste different. So to me, you go to McDonald's, you get this iced coffee, it's always the same. I think it's because they brew it in a factory and they ship it in bags. That's my theory.
I wonder like if they just have so many sales like right now at the moment, like McDonald's is getting so many like coffee sales at the locations. They're like, screw it. We're going to open our own coffee shop and compete with the Starbucks and Dunkin's and Dutch Bros. Just because we can, and we're going to take over the industry.
Well, no doubt McDonald's coffee I'm sure the McCafe wing of McDonald's is probably competes easily with Dunkin' Donuts and other big chains.
Oh, 100%.
The amount of coffee they sell has to be astronomical.
That's why this is kind of like a no-brainer for them, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So we'll find out.
Like
we'll give updates when we hear about it coming to Jersey because I'd imagine this is going to move quickly.
Yes, because once it starts in Illinois, I feel like it's going to be successful, and then it's going to start expanding into like the other bigger states and bigger cities in the country. So be on the lookout because this might be coming to New Jersey very soon. And I'm excited because I'm a McDonald's coffee head. So I think it'd be pretty cool. I'm scared the prices might start soaring to compete with like Dunkin' and Starbucks. But for now, I'm very excited for this and would love to see this come to New Jersey.
I love your excitement. Me too.
I love you too. Whoa.
I love coffee in general.
I think it's great. I
I
like cheap coffee. That's good.
Yeah, I just brew my own coffee now. I'm officially embracing.
Well, you got that new coffee dealer.
That on a budget.
You got that the dude, the new bean supplier.
Yeah, man, I found this guy.
Bean supplier.
Yeah, he also fights dogs, but he's the plug. All right, so last story of the day before we release our listeners to their weekend.
Release the hounds.
Whoa. Wow. On the topic of dog fighting.
I mean, it's a dog-friendly episode. We're for the dogs here on the Garden State and for the kids.
Yes. Okay. This story is something that my 7-year-old brain, while driving out like Route, I don't know, I would say maybe Route 80, 78 out west. My 7-year-old brain has always wondered, could this happen?
Yeah.
A rock slide in a New Jersey town crushed cars in a parking lot this week. Did you guys see this video?
It's crazy.
This is a legit rock slide.
It's not like just like one rock fell.
Are we shocked here? Because I'm not.
I'm a little shocked. Why are you not shocked?
It's nature, boys. Rock slides are going to happen. Don't park a car,
Josh.
luxury vehicles underneath a giant rock wall. It's kind of obvious. It's nature, dude. Rocks are going to break off.
Yeah, are you being a troll right now?
I say, bro, every time I say something on this podcast, you're like, are you being a troll? I say things because I mean it.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Have you seen where these cars are?
You also made the argument 3 weeks ago the Devil's Tea Table didn't need to be knocked down because what are the odds a rock is going to fall down and hit a car on the highway? So now I'm holding you to your feet to the fire.
No, I said that it's possible for it to fall out to the highway. That's why they had to like destroy it.
Oh, you were saying rock lovers should just
I mean, yeah, it's just like we should be cautious of where we're driving our cars or parking our cars if it's near a mountain, because guess what? That's nature. It's out of our control. And, you know, a rock slide can happen at any point.
Yes, I agree with that. However, how often do rock slides actually happen? Like, this building was built here, right? And people have been living in this area for, I don't know, a few hundred years. Rock slide probably happens once every 500 years. I don't know.
But that's the thing. We built on this mountain. We built a retaining wall. But guess what, man? The nature can't be stopped.
No, I'd say it's the responsibility of the builders to ensure there has to be standards.
You got to constantly be checking that.
This is crazy. We can't live in a state where you could walk to your car in a parking lot and a mountain falls on top of you and you die. Come on.
This happened like a few years ago over here in Scotch Plains. Do you guys remember when that happened?
No.
Right next to Park Ave, you know the circle. I mean, you know, like when you're crossing 22.
Yep.
Next to Blue Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, near that what is it called? That quarry right there.
Yeah, the quarry. Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
exactly.
so there was like a parking lot right there at the edge of the quarry. I think it's the quarry parking lot, but like part of that rock wall fell down during Hurricane Ida, I think. Oh. Yeah, remember when you were driving on that road in the flood? I think it was during that time where the part of the rock wall fell down.
Did anyone die?
No, just cars were crushed.
Epic.
Yeah, but it kind of looked like this.
What is it about being a man where I just love to see a car get crushed?
Without people in it.
Yeah, nobody in it, but like you just want to see a massive rock crush a Camry.
Yeah.
I want to see a Toyota Camry put to dust.
Or just watch a car get just like crushed by those hydraulic presses or something like that.
Or watch one get run over by like a big bulldozer. I saw that on my For You page the other day.
Yeah, that's good. Or
Sign
a tank, like a surplus tank from World War II running over some cars.
Or just blowing up a car.
Yeah, man. I don't know what it is. This is tough.
That's why Mr. Beast is very successful. He does like those crazy things.
He has captured the market of 15-year-old guys. And
like
me
he just
too.
did a video of like a train, like can a train like fall into like
I saw that one.
But look, all of us are attracted to those videos.
Well, he's appealing to the male brain. He's saying, what would happen if we took a full train and dropped it into a hole? And I mean, as a kid,
you think about these things.
You see the cowboy and Indian movies where the train goes off the tracks and you're like, could that ever really happen?
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sure it has in history, but
I guess if
to
you
see it happen,
have the money, you're just like, oh, let's make it happen. Entertain the world.
He's doing it, and it's just exciting to see. So, yeah, so this is the story is tragic on the topic of things being crushed, since we just glorified
Hey, no
it.
lives were lost though.
So
Thank God.
several luxury vehicles were crushed or badly damaged after overnight storms triggered a rock slide in a New Jersey town. The heavy rain sent large rocks careening down the steep slope on the Palisades and onto the cars parked behind the Duchess apartment building on River Road in North Bergen around 1 a.m. Monday, town emergency officials were on the scene, blocking off the road and the parking lot. Can you imagine waking up at 1 a.m. hearing a rock slide? It must have been loud.
Yeah, you would be like woken up and you would have no idea what's actually going on.
So a Range Rover, Mercedes-Benz, and BMW were among the vehicles, RIP, impacted by the rock slide. A Bentley was left covered in mud with its windows shattered. Oh, man. We should all feel so sad for this car that the insurance company is going to cover. A woman whose car windows were shattered said a similar rock slide happened after heavy rain in September. So this has been an ongoing issue with these rocks.
Don't park your car there.
The building has a metal fence and a retaining wall put in place to try to prevent the rocks from sliding down off the cliff with heavy rain.
Well,
part of the fence failed. It could be seen covered in dirt and rocks in the parking lot. Engineers were on site examining the damage, including what remained of the fence. Now, there's a job I think all three of us would love.
That would be a really cool job.
Show up and you're like, let's just assess some damage here. Okay, big rock fell, crushed a car. Yeah.
Pretty sick.
I'm going to make a note. Big rock, crush. Like, what's there really to assess?
It's possible that some of this might not be covered under your insurance because a landslide is considered an earth movement event.
An act of God?
Yeah.
Oh, it's an earth movement event?
Yeah.
Are acts of God covered on car insurance? Like if like hail, tornado?
Well, I think like a hail or a tornado is more common than like a rock slide happening.
True.
Let's see. Automotive insurance generally includes coverage for acts of God under comprehensive coverage, but if you don't have the comprehensive coverage, it may not.
So you got to pay for the comprehensive coverage.
Well, here's what I'll say. If you're driving a Bentley, I feel like Sebastian Maniscalco. If you're driving a Bentley,
You probably have the comprehensive.
you better have the comprehensive. like, what are you doing? You got all that money to drive a Bentley. You better get the comprehensive.
Or you just have so much money, you're like, I don't need insurance. I'll just go buy another car.
Yeah.
You know, when you like park, you get back from a journey in your vehicle and you're just parked. And dude, can you stop? I'm being serious here.
I was trying to pull dust. I was trying to dust off the soundboard.
Unreal. You know, when you get back from a journey and you park your car and you don't get out right away sometimes. You go on your phone, check social media, play some chess on the chess app, and you're just sitting in your car.
Yeah.
Imagine if someone, got home late from going out. It's 1 a.m. They're just sitting in their car right there. And a rock happens. A rock just comes and crushes you. An act of God. Thank God there was no one in their vehicles, because that could have easily happened to someone here.
It's got to be a quick way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, sign me up.
It's immediate.
Yeah, I would rather that than like a slow, painful death. But still, it's terrible. Like a family loses someone there.
Oh, for sure. I'm
Yeah.
not making light of it. I just think
Well, you kind of are. You're just like, yeah, good way to go. It's a quick way out.
Well, here's what I'll say is I think if I were to die from a rock slide, there's certain deaths that I think about them and I just go,
It was meant to happen.
it's like so weird how it's like the Final Destination thing. I saw a video accidentally on Twitter, oh my gosh, of some performer in like Japan on stage and an LED wall falls.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, man. Bro, that's a big no-no right there.
Apparently living broke their neck.
He survived?
That's the article
Because
said
that thing looked like he was rat bait.
paralyzed from the neck down, but dude,
It was
to
scary.
me, I see that and I go, first off, gruesome. I don't like to. I'm one of those people that I'm not interested in watching the death content on the internet.
I can't do.
And growing up as a millennial male, like we went to high school, everybody was watching people die. Like it was just what you did.
Yeah.
I was never about it. I never wanted to get like desensitized.
Yeah, you don't
know?
want to watch that garbage.
But I'll say this: seeing that video, you just kind of go, you can't time it. Like it could have fallen at 3 a.m. The screen could have fallen anytime, and it happens right when that person's right under it. Like what in the world?
I'm just saying it's a big lawsuit right there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but it's very sad nonetheless. The world is a crazy place.
He just broke his neck
I'll find
and survived.
Was it in Japan?
I can't believe he survived that. That guy looked done for. Because I remember when that happened, that video was going all over the internet.
Oh, it was in Hong Kong. I'm sorry. There's a dancer injured from an LED screen fall, remains in intensive care. Nerves may not totally recover. So,
Ugh, he's probably paralyzed.
oh yeah, they said paralyzed neck down. 95% chance his vertebrae and sensory nerves may not fully recover. So,
Like doing concerts like me and Jimmy do all the time and touring, like we think about this stuff all the time. We're just like, if this LED wall falls on someone, like the consequences are crazy.
Yeah, I was on tour with somebody a few years back, and then they were on another tour after that, and forklift accident. Something fell off the forklift and crushed him.
they died?
No. He just broke his leg, but he was in the hospital for months and months and months.
Oh my gosh.
It's very dangerous. Like that's why, dude, there's so many like union rules and stuff like at certain venues, and got to be careful.
That's why you got to be certified.
Yeah, man. It's just a wild scene out there. But yeah, it basically, you could die at any moment. You just never know. You gotta always be ready.
Hey, everybody. In closing,
Like this building can collapse on us right now for all we know.
I think life is sweeter if you look at it that way. That, every day is a gift.
every day's a gift, man. It's a blessing.
This podcast, we're here talking about nonsense for an hour and a half. And,
And people listen.
And people listen.
the number of car accidents, and this is like the drunk driving thing, where you're doing nothing wrong and somebody, crashes into you and kills you. It's like, you got to appreciate every day. Another day, December 13th, 2023. Another day to celebrate. And with that
12 days from
hopeful
Christmas.
note.
12 Days of Christmas starts today. Wait, really? Right? 12 Days of Christmas?
Today's the partridge in the pear tree.
And dude, no.
And a partridge.
Today's the first
in
day
a
of Christmas.
pear
Today's the first day of
tree.
Christmas.
On the first day of Christmas,
Yeah, true love gave to me a
partridge
it is the first
in
day.
a pear tree.
So, yeah, I'm thinking the
12. Five golden rings.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, wow, cool. I didn't even realize that.
Five.
Everyone, it's the 12 days of Christmas.
Can
Let's go.
can I
two
like
turtle
destroy
doves.
your life right now?
Yeah.
The 12 days of Christmas is supposed to start on December 25th, not 12 days leading up to Christmas.
That's actually correct.
That's not true. Wait, what? But then why are you singing it 12 days after Christmas?
Because we culturally see Christmas as the end of the Christmas season. But Christmas is actually the start of the season.
And it goes till when?
January 5th.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So it's not over at the 25th. Let's go.
No.
I always feel like it's over after the 25th.
So the 12 Days of Christmas, also known as the 12-tide, is a festive Christian season of celebrating the nativity of Jesus in the Western ecclesiastical traditions. Christmas Day is considered the first day of Christmas, and the 12 days are December 25th to January 5th. And I have a friend that celebrates this.
Well, thank you guys for correcting me. Well, we're not starting the 12 days of Christmas today.
We're starting it on the 25th.
Heck yeah, we are.
I know somebody that celebrates the 12 Days of Christmas, and I've always said I think it's a cool tradition.
I'm like, how do you
if you're a
celebrate
Christian.
the 12 days of Christmas?
Well, each day you could do something special. I'm sure there's historic tradition there.
In a partridge in a pear tree. Our Christmas episode is next week, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
because it's the 21st next week, and Christmas is on a Monday this year.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's crazy.
All right, well, that's the end of this week's episode. Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I burped. All right, well, that's the end of this week's episode, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Garden State Podcast. We appreciate all our listeners. Make sure to go sign up for the Polar Plunge.
Yes, get on it.
And we'll see you.
Join the Garden State Plungers.
Yeah.
As we plunge the depths of the Atlantic.
Yes.
February in the Garden State for the Special Olympics. Support a good cause.
Absolutely.
For the kids, baby. Let's go.
We'll see you guys next Friday. Have an amazing week and weekend. Later.
God bless.
Later.
You're listening to the Garden State. The Dirty Jers.